Hey guys, I've got a lantern, so the lighting may be a little bit weird. But now I can go ahead and make videos in the dark, which is good because that's where I get a lot of my ideas. There was a video here recently, and I'm going to be quoting a comment and a reply that I gave on that video here. I don't generally read from script, but I'm going to do it this time because I really want to portray these words exactly as they're written there. That video is called "What is BPD in Less Than 1 Minute?" Dash BPD overview, and it's by Dr. Daniel Fox, which is he's a great resource. Highly recommend his videos to anyone who is suffering from BPD or other personality disorders. It's more or less his specialty. But getting right into it, um, one user by the name of Careful Icarus commented, quote, BPD is hell. I wish I had no feelings sometimes. Life would be easier. End comment. To which I responded, that's why part of the disorder includes dissociative aspects ranging from mild episodes to DID-like symptoms. Because of this, those that survive BPD are, in my opinion, among, if not the strongest people in existence. The choice is ours to stay crippled, make ourselves worse, put an end to ourselves so no one will ever care, or find a way out of that hell by any means to make a full recovery and become the greatest of us all, for others as well, but especially for ourselves. Because for as much hell as we've been through, we deserve to be acknowledged, loved, and badass. In reply, BPD affects men and women equally. They used to say that it was like a minor occurrence in men and that it was almost entirely women, but that was just the part we acknowledged. That was the number of people who were getting diagnoses. That doesn't include the number of people who committed suicide. That didn't include the number of people who overdosed. That didn't include the people who felt like they didn't have an option or that they couldn't trust their mental health practitioners. So we're uncovering more and more staggering statistics as time goes by, and we used to say that it only affected like a fraction of a percentage of people, and then that went up to like 2 or 3% of people, and then that went up to 4%, and now we're at 6% of people being affected by PPD. And the worst statistic that has come out about BPD that elevates it beyond other issues that causes us should cause us to take a more intense stance in trying to reverse this disorder that is highly treatable. It's just very neglected. Is that 10% of the people with BPD will end up committing suicide. That is higher than any other mental disorder out there. Sometimes schizophrenia gives it a run for its money, but most of the times, it doesn't. And what I just read is a perfect example of when you're so overwhelmed by this disorder that is extremely overwhelming. It features aspects from numerous different other psychoses, and as a result, it's really hard to get diagnosed. It's really hard to find treatment that works. It's really hard to figure out what you're going through or how to approach it. And then on top of that, you have the other side of it, as personified by this comment, and it's part of the reason why I really want to put this on my channel, not only to speak to and to provide that comment to you all, and that reply that I gave, because I do think that it is really important that we believe in ourselves, that we motivate ourselves as much as possible to succeed this disorder, to overcome or to adapt this disorder to our advantage rather than be perpetually disadvantaged by it. But also because the dissociative aspect that I mentioned earlier directly ties into the topic I've been trying to touch on, and that is the DDD, the dissociative developmental disorder. What happens to a person when they don't really know themselves that well? What happens to a person when they don't have a history? Because every ounce of themselves has gone into fighting this seemingly evil presence within them, or falling victim to it, trying to get away from it by means of drugs or alcohol or whatever. I mean, what happens to an individual going through this? These severe symptoms that, as Icarus put it, makes you feel like you wish you had no feelings. It's that bad sometimes. And it can actually get worse with CBPD. You know, when you have additional disorders such as PTSD or complex PTSD, bipolar disorder, and more, that compound that disorder, may or may not be stemming from that disorder, it becomes that much more difficult to manage. We don't really know how to separate ourselves from the disorder, and we don't really know how to succeed, how to grow without the disorder. It kind of like feels like it's the foundation, even though it's not really our foundation. It feels like it is. People with BPD tend to talk about, some people actually say, I am BPD, instead of saying, I have BPD. And that is a huge indicator of what I've been talking about with the DDD and losing yourself to the disorder. And worse yet, what happens when people expect you to have a history, to have a life, to have a personality, and you can't provide it? And you become outcasted because of that. For a disorder that is an abandonment disorder, that is a huge, horrible trigger for anyone trying to recover from this horrible, horrible disorder. Because you basically prove to them that even when they get better, it's not enough. We'll never acknowledge you. We'll never be willing to treat you as a person because you don't present yourself the way we think that people should. And that's bullshit. And I just want to let everyone with BPD know that that is bullshit. And we do deserve better than that. And we can seize better than that. Like I said, for others, but especially for ourselves. It's very, very, very important to me that we all understand that it is within our own power to turn this around. Even if no one else acknowledges us this way, we deserve to acknowledge ourselves this way. And we really, really should. So, I'm going to make a few other videos here as a break from my old journalistic style that I've been doing for a little bit, because I think that I'm actually getting close to ready to write that article now, and that's why I haven't made a video for a while, is because there have been less developments as it pertains to additional material I plan on including in that article. So I'm going over some of those old videos. I'm doing more writing, and as you can probably tell by my voice, I'm a little bit sick right now. And it's been a horribly hot summer, and living in your van, that is not easy. So, but that format's gonna start to end here pretty soon, and I'm hoping to transition into more of these types of videos addressing the people with BPD, parents with children who have BPD, or maybe struggling with themselves with BPD and trying to be a parent, and to all those people out there that are just not as familiar with BPD, because even though I'm trying to focus more on the DDD aspect, BPD is the source of my DDD. And as a result, I would like to give it some extra attention and use it as a tool of explaining some of the effects and the ways in which DDD presents itself. So anyway, that's it for this video. Please, anyone who has an opportunity to be encouraging to these people, and even if you would like to take that quote that or that response that I gave, if you would like to share this video or do anything within your power to help these people that are suffering from this incredibly overwhelming disorder, I would very much appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.